Yeah.
I got pigs down there eating the grass, so we don't have to mow.
Okay, we're live on YouTube. It
Okay.
won't let me connect to Facebook.
Okay, that's fine. All right, we'll call this meeting to order for the regular finance meeting. Today is April 13th, 2023. It is 6:35 PM. And can we have roll call, please?
I'm sorry, you said 6:35, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Chairman West? Councilman Van Dorn?
Here.
Councilman Dumont, or Councilwoman, excuse me, I'm so sorry, Dumont, here.
All right, thanks. In Chad's absence, I will run the finance meeting. We'll start off with the minutes for the February 9th, 2023 meeting. If we can have a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Michelle made the motion. Any comment? If not, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Bob, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, we do have 2 months' worth of reports to approve. So I will open up the floor to any questions before we go through the approvals. And while they're looking over that, Sam,
Well, I guess you can have it, doesn't matter.
This is all this, Sam. This is all Jason.
No, this was mine that I got. These two were. I swear.
Did you take it off my desk? I'm sorry, Jason.
no, you're fine. I just want to
No,
give to
I
you
have these.
a $300 donation from Rainbow Pools for the festival.
This is for the regular meeting.
Thanks.
Oh, gosh.
While they're looking over that, one thing I do want to discuss, and it won't be in length for tonight, but something we need to look at, is I know I'm trying to do the 2024 budget for the tax budget that's due in July. I'm going back through and doing actuals and comparisons. And then Sam also done the utility bills for me. So our totals on our utility bills do not total what is on the appropriations. But I know last year you paid from here, paid from there, things like that. So we need to figure out what we actually spent in each account,
Okay,
or what we actually spent at each location,
okay.
so we can capture it properly, and I can adjust my budget. And then this year, I do not want any rob Peter to pay Paul type things.
Okay.
If there's not enough money in that account, take the action to get that
The
account.
one I did that to was the community center.
Okay, well, by
And the-
appearances, it's all across the
Park.
board.
Oh,
So that's the reason why, it's gonna be a deeper conversation than what we can have in a half hour.
okay,
But
all right,
I'll share with you my spreadsheet,
okay.
and then we'll go through, because again, I know utilities went up. And I
Yes.
want to make sure that I'm capturing it correctly in the budget, so we don't have to go back through and try to bring in more money.
Did you see where she went?
No, I did not.
She went there.
So all the void checks on the payment list?
Okay.
I figured there's an explanation, it looks like,
They got off, I was one check off, so it printed a I printed a regular report on a check. So it made the numbers all off, so I had to void the whole run and rerun them. If you look down below, you'll see like that the next checks go.
yep, now I do see that. I didn't see that before, but I do see that now. Yep.
Yeah, if it does one thing crazy or misfeeds, then it prints them off a number.
And then, okay, no, I know what that is. Well, actually, don't. So Rodney Nash, and it's marked beside it Audie Park.
Yeah, he's the one that's doing the grant at Audie Park to fix the baseball diamond.
So with that
It
grant,
just seems like it should have been a business name, I guess it looks.
Yeah. For that grant, we pay the contractor, then ODNR reimbursed us, to where normally,
It
It
would
works
be a
the-
business,
yeah.
yeah, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I take it the wood generator was to enclose the generator?
Yes. You can't find her?
Oh, I can't find her.
She's not hiding out there in a piece of machinery? Oh.
See, I thought I saw her go that
Mhm.
way. I just presumed she's going to the bathroom.
I didn't hear the doorbell ring, so I don't think she went out.
Mhm. All right. Are there any other questions over the reports? Okay, Bob, you? Okay, so we'll start with the February 2023 reports, which include the cash journal, cash summary by fund, fund ledgers, fund status, payment listing, revenue status, appropriation status, bank reconciliation adjustment report, and NSF report. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Michelle made the motion. Any comment? If not, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And we'll do the same thing with the March 2023 funds, which will include the cash journal, cash summary by fund, fund ledger, fund status, payment listing, revenue status, appropriation status, bank reconciliation adjustment report.
I'll make a motion.
Michelle made the motion. Any comment? If not, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Bob made the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. There is nothing under old business. New business, we'll be bringing up in finance, or I'm sorry, in council, which is resolution 392303, which is the 2023 fiscal year budget adjustments.
She has to be in it.
Any,
Yeah. Okay.
anything else from you, Penny?
I do not have anything else other than, we're going to go back and do the resolutions. I'm not gonna change the original resolutions like we was.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go back and do it and just do like either a supplemental.
Mhm.
I'm only gonna put on the resolution what I'm changing. I'm not gonna give you guys everything that's on there. So.
Hey,
that
Travis.
way-
Hi
Yeah,
that
just
way
have a
we
seat.
can,
We're finishing up finance.
Okay.
so that way, it doesn't get like, look, you look at it and be like, what is she changing? This way it'll have exactly what I'm doing and where I'm changing it. So it'll be less of a ordinance, I
Yeah.
guess.
All right. And again, our tax budget is due in July. I'm working on that, so we'll get that presented hopefully in May.
I'll get working on
For
the
June.
utilities and get that.
I have a meeting with AEP at the end of this month to talk about some different, not issues, but we have a new rep for the area. And so I'll meet with her. And we're also going to talk about doing contracts for all of our village properties, because none of our properties are on a contract, so it's just open market, except for the water plant, because it's part of the county aggregate process or program. So it's part of a contract through that aggregate program. But utility prices keep going up, and they change, like when Sam was doing the research, they go from 11 cents to $4. I mean, it just, wide differences. So that's eating into our fund. So hopefully we can get a contract for a set price for a while and go from there. If there are no other questions, do I hear a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion.
Michelle made the motion.
I'll second.
Bob second. All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. And we are done at 6:44 PM.
Did a good job, Michelle.
Hopefully council can go that fast, right?
Please?
I'm sorry, that is probably not going to happen.
I'm gonna sound like an auctioneer tonight, just so you know.
I love you, and I hope you're right, but I'm not holding my breath. If you seen all these ordinances, you'd be like, ooh, baby.
I'm just gonna read down them and take a vote.
Okay, I got your back.
How you been? Good. Good to see you. Good seeing you. I have been. Well, not a problem. We appreciate you guys taking the time to come up here. Some of the things that we want to look through as a village's growth with our businesses. And we're trying to build different partnerships to help us with that growth.
She does a little bit of.
Oh, does she?
She's a little more selective.
Yeah.
Just, they're just.
Yeah, retirement, yeah.
On retirement one day, so.
That's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a cool, perk.
Alright, so we approve that, so we can put
Yeah.
Michelle
I
sign
wondered.
Yeah, well, the old clock is, the old clock that was in the hallway. It was the master clock for all the, back in its day, it only just worked for forever.
Yeah.
Michelle's
I do remember that. Very cool.
But, yeah, we had a museum at our, over here on the corner, where we used to have an office, our offices were back there. And so all those items have been moved to the back of the community center, so we're hoping to set that back up. So we need to,
Sure.
show them also, and then, schedule for office room. They're happy to hear it, so.
Very cool. That was a long time ago, right?
Yes.
You're fine. Sorry.
I'm not bringing this up, but just so you're tracking.
Oh my gosh, I just got all pages.
Oh, okay, that's the,
Michelle signed this and get this on my desk.
okay, and this is, you're just gonna go ahead and purchase this, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. Have you gotten the PO for it yet?
No.
Okay.
Since you guys
No, well, not that I know.
signed
Okay.
up on this.
I don't know if you got
Can
one
you-
today, but I got it.
Sure.
We don't have it yet.
All right.
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the metal in my legs. I never thought about that.
The what on your list?
I have titanium in my
That's what it
knees.
means.
My knees are
Oh.
titanium.
That's where.
I don't know, that could be.
Yeah, for the roll? Yeah.
Never thought about it. That seems to be the only time they go.
Well,
I
I mean,
didn't
again,
thought-
we're doing trial and error, and if this doesn't work, then we're gonna go swap Baltimore's, because they have the same system as ours, to see if we have the same issue.
Yeah.
Well, that's the plan, I would say.
I would think somebody over there has had knee replacement surgery. And
How's grandma doing?
She's doing all right. She goes in for surgery on Tuesday.
How does
Well, Tuesday. You don't have time. What did you do to her, man?
Push her down some steps, you didn't hear about it?
I tried. Probably trying to get away from fucking little bobcats or some shit.
Casey, I'm putting you.
When I told Michael about it, he's like, let me guess, you got up in the morning to go feed the bobcat. I'm like, probably.
Yeah. It was bright and early too.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you even doing? She's like, oh, just trying to get some stuff done for Easter. I was like, you know what? We're all grown-ass adults. The little kids are coming, they don't care if it's late, who cares? You in a rush?
Have you heard the stories about Casey's mom? She's basically Snow White. Animals come to her deck to be fed, like deer come up to her. And they have a bobcat that's out there that
oh
wants
my
to
gosh,
float
you have a
around.
real light bobcat? I thought you were
And
just being
She doesn't
funny.
care what animal it is, she feeds them and they know her voice and come right to her.
Well, she had a deer too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
she's got quite a few deer.
Well, the deer was actually coming up to the door, weren't they?
Well, no, almost.
Everyone, hold on, please. Casey, is the shop Wi-Fi not working?
It's just
Yeah, it works
because
fine.
we did some of these.
And it's called
Number.
shop, right?
Nope.
Oh,
Well, it might be, no.
What's it?
what
It
is it?
is, I gotta go get it.
Is it
Because we
password
couldn't, yeah, we couldn't change the thing because they didn't change the,
There's like a bajillion of them when I try to log in.
thing.
And there's like 35 different, one's called Red Apple.
He wants to talk to you. I'll say thank you. This is your answer
Chaos.
that you have left in the one account, ended up only being this. This is for the coronavirus.
Oh.
We have left, so we have 243 left. I think we were seeing if we had any, what else we could do or buy, or, because we lose this if we don't use it.
Yeah.
Well, you said something about getting another, one of those chair things, so. You got enough? If you don't, as I say, Chad's not, did you have enough?
Is Chad gonna be here?
No. Okay, so that's gonna be done.
That's easier. There's signatures for finance. You guys can fire me. It's been a while since I've had to do finance.
All right, so.
I should have thought of it too, so I can't really fire you.
saw we got a new restaurant that opened up just today, right?
Yeah, I heard
Lunch hours.
today was kind of their, is it soft opening or VIP event, is that right?
That was last week. Today
Oh,
is
that was
their
last
first
week.
general
They're
public,
opening.
yeah.
Okay.
Then we're gonna do a grand opening with them probably mid-month,
Okay.
next month, after they
Great.
get their feet wet.
Fantastic.
So,
If we can make contact with them, we'd be happy to,
yeah, well, I invited them to this
Okay.
meeting tonight.
Yeah. they probably have their hands full.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mentioned that to them. And then we talked about a ribbon cutting, whether it's through you or through Jonette at Fairfield, Visit Fairfield County.
Yeah, Jonette and I work very closely
Yeah.
together, so a lot of times, we'll come out and do ribbon cutting, and
Yeah.
she'll be there to present a plaque, and,
Yeah.
yeah, we'd be happy to try to get that scheduled,
Okay, awesome.
yeah. Everybody's probably excited to have a restaurant back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like Pacers, and I like the family, they were
Oh, yeah,
great.
great,
But it's a different menu and all, it's like, it's fresh, it's new, so
yeah, good,
I ate so much at Pacers, I
What's
kind
it
of burned out
called,
myself.
yeah.
Like, what's the connection itself called?
What
Is
comes
that-
up?
Huh?
What comes up?
Like 30 different things?
It comes up, My Spectrum Wi-Fi 60-2G, Spectrum Setup E5,
Spectrum setup D5, G5?
E5?
DF?
E5,
You got a DF?
a DF.
Mine's DF.
Yep, I see
Spectrum
DF.
setup DF.
Yeah, it's Spectrum setup DF, dash
Okay.
DF,
DF, like
Yeah.
Frank?
like Delta Foxtrot, yes.
Then what's the,
It's Voyage Friend 805.
what is that again? Sorry.
Voyage Friend 805. Yeah, it won't let us change it like we did before.
Is it all lowercase?
Yep. We've been trying to change it. for-
Yeah, they won't, actually, if you do actually get to change it, it'll make it unstable. I found that out.
Okay, because it just keeps saying, like, we go in there and they'd say, okay, you got the wrong modem.
Yep.
You'd be like, okay, and you send them the modem information, and they'd have the modem on, and they'd have something else wrong.
Are you okay?
So they never really add everything.
And Sam, TrueCore said probably around $150.
I just saw that.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was lucky.
Did you say in your minutes? please?
No, I
Okay.
The other ordinances are in your pile, or do you want me to give you mine?
Whichever one you want signed.
Okay. This is Devon's, this is the regular one for the 13 acres, or the 13 lots, excuse me. And then this is for the two places you asked about Pam's, which my brother is gonna mow that, and then Quick's. So he did like a curb cut 2 times a month. So it's the same, it's just a copy of it.
Yeah, and I just want to use these as examples to present, just to say
Two.
that way, if we just have, I don't want to come here and have to department, but
Right.
here's an idea of.
Okay. All right, so he needs one of these.
Grilled cheese gangsters.
Yeah, so the people that bought, or opened up the restaurant, they own food trucks, it's called Grilled Cheese Gangsters. So they gave the festival a $350 donation, something like that. Yeah.
That was nice.
They're looking to do a lot of things in the community. They really are doing good work. They do gourmet grilled cheese and gourmet tots. And I had their tots tonight, and they were good. So they're not like normal tater tots in any way, shape, or form. They're really
Yeah.
good. You can
I'll
get
have
them
to
with
try
like,
them.
buffalo chicken on them. You can get them with like pulled pork on them. They're good.
then there were two of the same penny, but I'm guessing it's just an extra copy for the NSM check.
No, one's February, one's March. That's February,
Oh.
that one's March.
Even, I mean, he's on the agenda. He's officially like.
Yeah, it's a formality to accept his resignation.
Okay.
Is all that.
That's fine. Just want to make
The
sure.
dates and stuff. It's right, see, it says January 15th, February, January 15th, February.
Well, I think you printed.
Right,
off the
this
last
is, this is for February's meeting.
Okay,
Okay, so then we sign that and we're done. This one I bring for February's meeting for you to sign.
one, just to show.
It's because we have two,
I'm guessing.
Because we missed 2 meetings.
because we missed last month's meeting.
Okay,
So I didn't get this signed for last month for February.
right, but why would we sign two if it's the same thing?
Because that's February's,
Well, you can actually.
this is March.
have a meeting on the side one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just, it makes it look like there's two, I guess.
It's just a
It's all the
review.
same and,
Yeah.
sorry,
No, it's okay.
don't mean to.
That meeting's over.
Right. Oh, Jason, I forgot to give you the payroll. This is for that. We signed off on this, for the Ohio Revised Code book. We signed off on it, but I didn't have you sign it.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. Thank you.
And then payroll, I can pick it up at the office.
Okay.
Or,
Or I can,
yeah, I don't want to take it home with me because
Okay.
it's socials. So, yeah, it's at
Okay.
the office tomorrow or Monday.
okay. Chapman's just dropped it. It's from December.
All right, it's 7 o'clock on April 13th, 2023. This is the regular Village of Pleasantville council meeting. If I'm sorry, I'm calling this meeting to order at 7 p.m. If you will raise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sam, can we have roll call, please?
Mayor Hickerson,
Present.
Councilman West, Councilwoman Jamal,
Here.
Councilman Mason,
Here.
Councilman Pengborn,
Here.
Councilman Williams.
Yes, here.
All right, we have a quorum. We will go ahead and move to the approval of the regular council meeting from February 9th, 2023. If everyone has had a chance to review those, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
And
Bill.
I'll second it.
Bill made the motion to approve. Any comments? If not, seconded by Michelle. Roll call, please.
President West, Councilwoman Jamal,
Yes.
Councilman Mason.
Yes.
Councilman Bigler.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
All right, we'll move on to business and guest. There is no guest from the public, so we will go in with Mr. Travis Markwood. He's here from Lancaster Fairfield Chamber of Commerce. Travis, we'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. And thanks, everybody, for having me out. I'll try to be brief. I may have some work to do tonight. And the weather's awfully nice outside as well, but it's nice to be here in Pleasantville. I spent a good portion of my childhood in this community, and just thank you for all that you guys do, because I know this is a commitment, serving your municipality. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit about kind of what the Chamber of Commerce does, and then go into some areas where I think that we could partner with the village, as well as some of your businesses, and hopefully, as you guys grow as well. Our Chamber of Commerce has got some history. It was founded in 1897, so it's been around for quite some time. It started out as a business association in Lancaster. At the time, the association was able to lure companies into Lancaster and the surrounding areas. You all know that Lancaster in our area had a lot of abundance of natural gas. They were able to offer manufacturers that were moving in at the turn of the century free natural gas if they were to move there and start their business. So the glass industry was born in Lancaster, Ohio. Over the years, we morphed into the Chamber of Commerce, and then eventually the Lancaster Fairfield Chamber of Commerce. So we serve businesses throughout Lancaster, throughout Fairfield County. We partner with other Chamber of Commerces in our county as well. Pickerington and Winchester, Bremen has a Chamber of Commerce. We work some with the Buckeye Lake area as well. We currently have approximately 550 members. It makes us about the 7th, 8th largest Chamber of Commerce in the Central Ohio area. We serve all types of businesses, small mom and pop shops, municipalities like yourself, nonprofits, manufacturers, healthcare, you name it. We do it. Chamber of Commerce probably 20, 30, even 40 years ago really served as like the key economic development driver for the city of Lancaster and the community. That's changed a little bit over the years. You probably read the city of Lancaster has an economic development director. The county has a whole team of economic developers. Each community, like Violet Township and Pickerington, have economic developers. So the Chamber's taken more of a supportive role in terms of advocacy for its members and business, and not so much trying to recruit new businesses to town. We're more about trying to help a business that's trying to start or has recently started with resources and advocacy to kind of help them be successful. So we offer a lot of training programs. We have what we call Small Business University that happens once a quarter, various subject matter for businesses to take advantage of. To learn a little bit how to operate their business a little more effectively. We do a lot of networking events. As a matter of fact, I just came from one that we had tonight. That's just getting our members together after work, or sometimes even earlier in the morning to network, make business connections, refer one another for business. We are organized in a lot of different ways in terms of how our membership structure is set. We have basically 6 different tiers that businesses and folks can take advantage of. The first tier starts at $300, and we go all the way up to sponsorship tiers and membership packages that are $10,000. But there's a little bit different benefit to each of those. I'm not going to go through all that. I've got some packets I'm going to leave behind. But when it comes to working specifically with a village, and we do work with several municipalities that are members, but there are things I think that we can partner with. I know you guys do a festival here that you continue to try to grow. We can help create connections with sponsors and businesses, and I think help promote it. Obviously, I think that's a big piece. We have a newsletter that goes out every Friday. It's about 3,000 I think contacts in our email list. That's where all of our member information, community events, press releases, anything they've got going on, you can submit that to our newsletter and we get that out there. I don't know, and I probably should ask you before this, Jason, but how many employees does the village have?
We have 2 full-time, 2 part-time, and a seasonal.
Okay. One of our our municipalities that's a member takes advantage of our healthcare program. We have a partnership with the Southern Ohio Chamber Alliance, which has a healthcare insurance pool that is available only to members of the Chambers of Commerce. And it's for 50 or less employees. And we have about 75 to 80 members that are taking advantage of this program right now. It's a United Healthcare program, I'm sorry, an Anthem program. But a lot of our members are finding it to be pretty affordable compared to some of the other market rate health plans. So I thought that might be of interest to you at some point, because you have smaller employee numbers, and if you offer health insurance, it's definitely something to look at. I think the village of Lithopolis is taking advantage of that right now with us. That was one of the sole reasons that they joined. Of course, we can also help advocate for communities as well. One of the other things we do that's really important is kind of behind the scenes. People don't see it a lot, but we have a legislative action team, and we will educate ourselves on local, state, federal regulation, policy, legislation that we're learning about. It's going to adversely or positively affect our businesses. So, you never know when you're running into even a village with some type of, political issue that you don't think is going to be friendly to your community or your village. And sometimes, we will educate ourselves and we'll take a stance on that. We've been known to even go to Columbus and testify in front of the Senate hearing committees and such to try to persuade them one way or another on certain issues. So we do some of that work as well. Again, a lot of different programs throughout the year. We have a leadership program where we're trying to build local leaders. We do this 9 months out of the year. They meet once a month, and we have about 40 individuals in this program. We've been doing this program for 35 years, so companies will basically sponsor one of their employees if they want to run through the program. It's a lot of different training on leadership skills and so on and so on. We also, you might be interested in this, we have a lot of municipalities and entities participate in our Fairfield County Safety Council. This is a partnership through the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation, and we all have to pay workers' compensation fees for our employees. By participating in this program and enrolling in it, you attend once a month basically a meeting of our Safety Council where we have a guest speaker on a certain safety topic. We've had anywhere this year from Fairfield County Sheriff's Office talking about active shooters to slip and fall safety to forklift safety. We try to run the gamut. We have a lot of different training. But what this allows you to do is if you attend these meetings and have the appropriate attendance record at these meetings, the BWC will give you a 2% rebate on your fees each year. So it saves you some money. So we have a lot of companies taking advantage of that. And that might be something you'd be interested in too. We have several townships and municipalities that show up for those. And of course, as you guys start to grow your business base here, and I think Jason mentioned that that's what you're kind of excited about, thinking about, with the restaurant opening and some other things possibly happening. We, by creating a relationship with you, we want to know, who those new business operators are. We help train new business owners. We have a lot of different resources. We partner with the Small Business Administration, the SBA, and we have a consultant that is available on a regular basis that will help a new business build their business plan, find financing if they have to, but it's basically kind of a coach that goes along with a brand new business operator to help them with some of the things that they may not know about. It's a great way to get started. We hate it when somebody walks into our office. We like it when they say they're going to start a business or they've already started a business. What we don't like is when they haven't clearly thought it out. Because too many times people say, hey, I quit my job from 30 years at the whatever. I learned how to do something. I'm going to go out on my own and do it. Cashed in half my 401k, bought, space and equipment. And, okay, but you have a plan, And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. And that's a little scary. So we want to be on right on the ground floor when somebody's trying to start a business to help them get going. So, well, I've spit a lot of stuff out there really quickly. Does anybody have any questions about anything else that we do, how we operate?
Well, I think you covered a lot of stuff and really got into the stuff that would really impact us.
Yeah.
My goal of this conversation is, we are going to be growing. We all know that. With all the different things coming to this area, we're going to be growing, but we don't know what that's going to look like.
Right.
And as we grow, we need businesses to help either support our residents, such as restaurants, bakeries, whatever. And I want to make sure that we are prepared. So like we're at that beginning stage of we're preparing for our growth.
Yeah.
We're doing different things on the zoning side to make sure we have basically packets of a development wants to come in. Here's our book. This is what we require, because that's kind of what they're asking for. Still in the development phase, but working with county commissioners and their partnerships that they have with different contractors, like this is the best way forward. Every small village struggles with keeping businesses, strong businesses, and I think a lot of times because what you said, I'm going to go in here because I like it, but I didn't plan it out.
Yeah.
And we don't have resources to help them. Again, they still have to become a member to get those resources, but at least we can say, hey, we're a member of this.
Yeah.
We see the effect of it.
Yeah.
And then the side part of it, or the back end of it is, we get support with our festival through your office, the BWC stuff. I mean, those nice, in addition to just that future goal
Yeah.
that Fairfield County should have in mind.
Yeah.
And hopefully everyone takes advantage of, organizations such as yourself to help lead us in that.
Yeah, definitely. You guys are smart too. Think about growth and development. I'm a farm kid from down the road
Yeah.
here, so it's hard to watch development sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's coming. I mean,
Yep.
and we're not really unfortunate to be able to stop it, but we
Yep.
can be smart about how to plan for it.
Yes.
And I think that's what, even from a county standpoint,
Yep.
they're really trying to think about.
Yeah.
Because there is going to be a lot of growth. Again, in working with those small businesses, if my employees were here, they'd be like, oh my God, we don't want to hear this again. You say it all the time. But, one of the things that we know about small businesses, oftentimes they're really good at making a widget,
Mhm.
making a great pizza, have great food at the restaurant. But when you turn the close sign around on the door, block it, and you go to your back office to try to figure out your finances, your HR issues,
Mhm.
Your HR law, what you can and can't do for the health. These are all things that people don't know how to do sometimes. And it's all right, you
Mhm.
can't know how to do everything. But as small business operators, you don't have, an HR department, you don't have a finance department or accounting department. You need help learning some of this.
Mhm.
And we like to think that sometimes we can fill in the gap with some of our training. So,
Okay. So kind of based on the conversation that we've had so far with your different packages, and I've looked at all of them.
yeah, good.
I know we don't need a $10,000
Yeah,
package.
Of course not.
But, if we start out with that $300 a year membership fee, is that going to get us kind of what you talked about that would be available to us, like the insurance, the safety council, things like that?
Yeah, it automatically qualifies you for the insurance and the safety council for sure. The one thing, let me think about that first package, I don't want to check a couple things. But I also believe as a public entity and considered in our nonprofit area, like you can still submit things to our newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to check on that just to make sure that I don't get you, because there are some more marketing benefits that come with that next package, that 450 package.
Okay,
It's all kind of spelled out right here. But,
okay.
um,
But even again, like if that's that 450 package, that will get us those type of tools that will
Yeah.
be beneficial. That's kind of what we're looking, or what I'm looking for.
yeah, absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, my ask is back to council of, hey, do we want to become a member of this, and what is our membership level?
Yeah.
And we don't want to pay for more than what we'll ever use, because again, we're not a business.
I would
But
think a village's council and the number of employees you have,
Mhm.
size of your village, that one of those first two levels.
Okay,
The second level will probably get you a little bit more marketing
Mhm.
for probably your festival.
okay,
And that's what I would think about.
Okay.
That's probably how you would want to use your marketing,
Mhm.
I would think.
yeah,
But they might get
okay,
About marketing for obviously some of it's not our property,
Mhm.
but obviously we have a few business empty buildings. Does that put anything out that there's rental space? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yes.
I know it's not our rental space, but
Well,
if you
so-
have businesses looking at your newsletter, looking for storefront, do
mm-hmm,
you follow what I mean?
Probably in order for us to do, because we have listings on our newsletter on our website, they're called kind of like, it's our kind of hot deals page or
Yeah.
our member classifieds. And anybody that has rentals can put those in there. But it's
Yeah.
typically the property owner.
mm-hmm,
Right.
That has to be a member.
I just wondered if we could supply the owners' names for people to contact.
Well,
I'm just,
But we'll step away from the chamber and I'll give you another idea.
okay,
I think that's where we work with the county economic development office.
Okay,
They keep a listing of commercial properties,
okay.
and if those properties aren't on that listing, then we should get them on there.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
where
you
they-
guys would help us link to them to do that, where
Well,
we could ask for you
yeah.
to give us a name of who
Oh,
we
yeah,
contact
absolutely.
for.
Yeah, we work with very closely
Yeah.
with them all the time.
Yeah, and actually that's Rick, and I work with him.
Yeah.
He actually comes up once a year, and
Okay.
we walk the town of like, here's a storefront,
Okay,
here's
good.
this, because he's one of our advocates in that. Even just property that's sitting here that could be used for commercial uses, we keep him up to date on all that stuff.
Yeah.
He hasn't been here this year. We were supposed to meet earlier, but then just our schedules didn't meet up. So we still have a walkthrough to do this year.
Okay.
Good. Well, if you're doing that, then that's good. That's who you need to
Yeah.
talk to. That's who, make sure you get your listings in.
But that's a great, because that was going to be one of my questions, like of those people that we don't have, that you don't have as a member, but we're advocating for Pleasantville, like, is there certain wording that we can say, like, Pleasantville has, without saying an address, but we have available commercial space through, different places. One thing is, we may be buying the old IGA here soon,
Yeah.
which will open up hopefully 2 commercial spaces.
Okay.
Since we're direct owners, like that would definitely apply, but,
We can work out
Okay.
how that's listed.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, certainly we buy it, yes. If we could create a description.
Yeah.
Somewhere in our newsletter or on,
Yeah.
on your landing page or
Mhm.
whatever church goes.
Okay.
Little description of Pleasantville,
Mhm.
and in that you could mention that we have multiple commercial spaces available. It would be good for this.
okay, all right. Yeah, because I mean, that's it. I mean, I think people are coming back to small town living, especially after
Yeah,
COVID.
no question.
Because we're seeing that everywhere. So I want to make sure we capture that growth, and I don't want to become stagnant and just be like, we're just going to let everything happen naturally, because it will never happen if we do that.
Right.
So I do want to try to promote Pleasantville in a positive way to get some positive businesses.
Yeah. And you have good business fosters more business.
Yes.
I mean, so, gosh, I hope these guys are successful over here in the restaurant,
Mhm.
because, if somebody's successful there, then, I don't know, maybe someone wants to open an ice cream shop again, and-
Exactly.
And it just happens.
Mhm.
Because other businesses want to be where there's other successful business happening.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's good.
It's also we've seen this through the festival. We've actually had, I know of one person that bought a property in Pleasantville because they came to our festival.
Okay.
They knew Pleasantville existed. They knew they were from this area, but it just, sometimes villages get bad raps
Yeah.
because of different things.
Sure.
And they've heard nothing but bad things about Pleasantville.
Right.
But they came to our festival. They saw everything that we were doing. It's just like, okay, I want to buy a property. I mean, because they wanted in Fairfield Union School District.
Yep.
And of course, that's kind of hard to get anymore.
It is.
And a property became available in Pleasantville. They're just like, hey, this is where we want to go, because they are looking forward, because we have the festival, we have Santa Claus, we have the Easter, we have all those different family events throughout the year
Yeah.
to help kind of make up for what we don't have. And I think people are starting to appreciate that more.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
okay.
Any questions? I think for at least some of my cards here. I brought about, I don't know, I've got some packets. How many do you think you guys would need?
If you don't mind maybe leaving 10 or whatever you
I
have.
have 5 with me.
Okay,
Does that work for you?
yeah. And then we'll definitely pass them out to the different businesses we do
Yeah.
have in town.
That would be great. And any contacts we can
Mhm.
share would be great.
Yeah.
I know we want to get in touch with these folks. We
Yeah.
try to leave restaurants alone for a little while.
Yeah.
When they're trying to get open, they're just crazy trying,
Yep.
And so we usually hit them up once they get open and
Mhm.
get their feet underneath them a little bit. So
Okay.
we'd love to meet them.
Okay, not a problem.
So-
Stop down, the food is delicious, so just
Yeah.
tell everyone
I'm
that.
sure
It's,
we'll be there.
yeah.
Mom and Dad still live down the road. I'm sure we'll be
Yeah.
meeting them there soon, so.
all right, not a problem. I really appreciate that. Any other questions from council? Again, I think this is another positive step, looking at the future and ways to partner with different people.
Yeah, well, thanks, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
Keep up the good work. So.
All right, thanks
Yeah.
Travis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we will move on. You said Bill's not coming tonight, right? Bill Vance?
Correct.
Okay. All right, we got a lot to cover tonight, and we'll try to get through as quickly as possible. Council reports, finance, we'll have a resolution later on. Zoning and property maintenance, no update on that. Records, rules, and law, Michelle, any update?
Just, we need to circle back to the policy manual.
Yes.
We can do that another time.
Yep. Recreation, community center, and pool,
For April, for the Grange, I counted 11 commitments in April and 6 commitments in May. For the Shelter, 1 commitment in April and 2 in May. And the pool, lifeguard certification on the 20th and 22nd. Is that right? Okay. And the pool opens on the 27th.
Okay. I did talk to Chris. She's willing to come back as a pool manager again this year. Some of our guards will be coming back, but we do have to advertise because we will not have enough. So we started advertising. Thornville's pool will not be opening this year because of some infrastructure issues. They're going to do repairs this year. So I am going to reach out to Thornville and ask them, which I think, Sam, you already made a contact with someone at Thornville, if they have someone, an employee that wants to drive to Pleasantville, you know, to put an application in. So we might be able to pull from
Well,
them.
And Brian from Baltimore also needs them, so if we don't need them, then
Okay.
it's a possibility they could go to Baltimore also.
Okay, not a problem, because I need to email Tracy up there and ask her about that, so. All right, county board, regional planning, Michelle?
So nothing for regional planning. I did miss the board meeting, but I asked for the minutes.
For regional planning?
No.
Oh, Board of Health.
There was nothing on.
Okay.
Sorry, on regional. I skipped right along.
No, you're fine. That's the reason why I wanted to
Regional
clarify.
planning that we needed to discuss. But on the Board of Health, I missed it, but I asked for the minutes.
Mhm.
And they did 2 elections of officers, a secretary, and 2 board members. And then one of the good notes, there was a high overview of all kinds of things they're going to be doing. But our health board ranked 15th in the state.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's a pretty good number, so I thought maybe
Yep.
everybody might want to hear that.
Yeah, so the Board of Health, you have the Board of Health, and then you have the ad hoc Board of Health, which is the villages and townships that make up that. So part of their money comes from us, because we don't have our own Board of Health, and it's a requirement by Ohio Revised Code, so we contract essentially with the counties how that works. And then from there, we appoint certain people, they hire people then, or, you know, whatever. But the director that they have right now, or the director of health, is doing a phenomenal job. I mean, he is taking that to the next step. We've always had a decent Board of Health, but like he's taking it to that next step and getting us to where we need to be. So, you know, great job for the ad hoc board, the Board of Health, and also the Department of Health themselves, because they are doing a great job, especially with all the challenges, financial, COVID, you know, everything, so.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a whole list of things they were doing, which I won't read, but
Yep.
they're definitely.
Yeah, they're very busy. Yep. And they did replace 2 board members, one because of an open seat, which they replaced Tina Childers, who's been there for a while. And then they replaced a member, I can't remember his name, but he was from Bloom Township. He was a trustee, a clerk with all of that, and he passed away. So they had to replace him. And he was one of those board members that's been around forever, but pushed and fought for the Board of Health. Like, he was a great board member, so, you know, they did lose a lot when he passed, so. I remember working with him when I was on the Board of Health, and like he made sure things happened, so. All right, grants, we'll move on to that. I'm not gonna read through all these because there really hasn't been any major changes other than the work is being done at Audie Park by Nash Construction, and that will be proceeding until it's completed, so. But that's about it. I am working with different organizations on some smaller grants, but nothing that I need approval for anything on yet or have any confirmation, so more to come on those. Casey, you're up.
Because I got 2 months, just quick rundown. We had to replace the chemical pump and injector tube, replace the brine pump, also rebuilt the brine pump. So we had to buy a brine pump, but now we have a rebuilt brine pump because the one that did break, we tore it down, completely tore it, gutted it, ordered all parts we needed, so now we have an extra one on the shelf, so we can go back to the rotation. With that being said, almost all our pumps right now, we have a backup. Almost all the pumps we have, we have backup. We're still missing one pump, but when it blows, we're going to revamp those whole pumps and get a, what's the pump called where it slowly kicks on instead of beats on?
I don't remember the name of it.
It's basically a pump where it slowly kicks on instead of just slams on and slams off.
Is that the high pressure
Yeah, the high service valves,
Mhm.
so they'll
rev up versus
rev
just
up
kick?
instead of just kicking and rocking the whole plant. So that's that. 7 water meters we had to replace. We'll be talking about those in a second. How we're gonna work about that. I saw that we were talking about that later on too, so we'll just talk about it then. Around town, we repaired the potholes. We think we got all the asphalt was got. The asphalt patch. If you do see any, let us know. We've been driving around trying to make sure that we do get all the asphalt. We've also patched most of the line, most of the alleys, and we redrug the 2 alleys and repatched those also. We patched your alley. Even though that claim we didn't, we did.
It doesn't stay.
I know. We know. It's just where it's at.
Yeah.
We drag it. That's
Have
our
we
next-
checked into us owning our own box blade? That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
I feel like it might be more cost efficient than putting stuff in there that doesn't,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like if we're buying the stuff and it's really just popping out in a day,
Well,
if you guys actually owned one that you came through more often, that lasts way longer.
Yeah,
And we're
that's-
not putting any
Mhm.
fill in it. Like we're literally
Yeah.
just
that's when we
regrading
did
what
the
we
box
have.
blade.
Yeah.
We just
I
did
know
the
we
box
borrow
blade
it.
yours.
I know we borrow it,
Mhm.
but I'm wondering, has anybody priced what it would be to actually have one for our alleys?
Yeah,
Just because I think it might be cheaper.
We don't own the tractor either.
yeah, right.
Oh.
Yeah, right now we're borrowing the tractor and the box blade
Oh,
and,
shoot.
yeah.
Okay. I'm just
No,
thinking,
it's- yeah.
It just seems to me like it doesn't last if we
Yeah.
put the
Well,
money towards something that would actually.
Yeah.
Like when you guys
And
do
what we're-
grade it, it like,
Well, what
it
we're
lasts
looking
a
at
while.
doing is, if you actually looked up on
Oh, Janice? Janice Alley?
Janice, where we had Janice redone, well, we're actually talking to Alan and Trevor, because if they do redo the,
Hickenlooper and
Hickenlooper?
Columbus,
if we can try to do the grindings through your guys' alley and do it the way they did it.
because they come in, put a nice thick pack and then roll it through.
Okay.
And kinda-
Oh, I was asked about that
Yeah.
because somebody did notice that that was done on another alley, so
Yeah.
that's good information.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is every time we do a street project, we keep the asphalt grindings and we put in the contract to fix an alley.
I knew that
Yeah,
part, but whatever the company was that came through,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we
Well,
are
because we
considering
only-
doing that to the other alleys.
Yes.
Yes. What we did originally was, we only did that little alley right there, because that was really the one that takes the most beating, and I hate to say that, but it does, because of not smart people that live there, but some smart and not so smart, but anyway, we'll skip that part. But that was a really beat up alley, and we were constantly filling it,
Right.
and it's actually helped for the whole, almost year now.
yeah. And we were trying to do it as a trial, like, will this work?
Right.
Versus, hey, let's do this to multiple alleys and then they fall apart again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, if nothing else, it's a
So
really
that's
good
like a
base.
company that came in,
Yes,
that actually dragged it and rolled it?
Yep.
yes.
It's actually the paving company, we put it in their contract,
Okay.
to come in and do all that, some
Okay.
prep
And
work.
that's what we're looking at, or that's what we're talking to Alan and Trevor about, is Alan's next, on the next one,
Mhm.
streets we do. So basically, every time we do a street, we're going to try to get that kind of look into the deal,
Right,
if that makes sense.
makes sense. Yep. Okay.
And also keep the grinding, because we can always use the grinding.
Yeah, I relayed that, but I didn't know the others.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, did the alleys, we started a tree list, we're starting the north side, and just slowly working our way back because of the budget we have. Anything that's dead will be the first on either side, north or south, but I'm gonna start with the north and then work our way out, because we actually have less than north. If that makes sense. Then that way we can just keep working our way down south till we get to the end of the village. So we started to look that plan out too, because we did find a couple dead ones that we need to maybe go back and look at, and they're at the park,
Mhm.
up at Audie, because we have started cleaning out more of the backside. Now that we know more where our fence line is, and we can find it, we found it, and started cutting back to it. We're cutting back another 8 foot probably now to be on the fence line, if that makes sense.
To give us more room on that diamond.
Yeah. So what that did though too is, because we started doing that, we realized a couple of the trees that we thought wasn't ours are ours.
Big ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're, if you look at it from one side, it looks really healthy, but you go around to the back side and there's like a dead tree in the center of it. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah, we found that. So,
And we are sustaining a lot of damage in our windstorms we've been having lately up in that area, just because there's a lot of
yeah.
dead and dying trees,
Yeah.
whether on our property or on the neighboring property.
But we're trying to get rid of as much dead as we can because of the windstorm we've been having there for years. But the idea is north and then work our way down. So if you see us marking a tree, we'll be marking a tree just so they can give us an estimate on it, because then we'll sit and do the math, figure out what we can do. All preventive maintenance has been started on the summer equipment. Pool's being prepped. We've got everything set. We've already got time for chlorine to start heading in. And it'll be the same time we go in and actually start pumping down. I think, what was the date?
May,
20th. We want to be up and ready by like May 15th.
May 20, are we opening Friday or Saturday? Saturday?
Saturday.
So May 27th, so we would want
Yeah, so
that to be done by the 19th, the week before,
Yeah, but you got
lifeguard training classes.
lifeguard training on the 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the 20th, so we're looking at being ready by the 15th.
Okay, good, yeah. That's fine then, that's even earlier than,
Yeah, so our goal is the 15th, that's when we got
Okay.
chlorine already set, everything's coming down.
okay, good.
We just gotta reach out to the vendor. I think he's the one we'll be able to go. So we'll get him on board on that. We brought in sand and redone the ball diamond over here on Pleasant. Brought it up a little bit, also fixed all the fencing around it. We have a few more little areas to touch up around the fencing, but we're also ripping out the other fence was damaged all by the tree, and all the kids are taking it down. So that'll be all up. We opened the shelter house, so it's up and operational. I already talked about starting to clean up there. We're trying to get the upper field set up so that the girls can come up and use it,
Okay,
the softball, because since they're using that field, they can't use it.
yeah, they're not gonna use the T-balls, what they told me in the last conversation, meaning the Junior Falcon Baseball League. So now the girls softball's gonna use the T-ball diamond.
That's why we're trying to keep
Yep,
it all.
last conversation I had, that's what it was.
You got time tomorrow?
Probably.
Okay, we need to set up the locations for those boards, those 3 boards, so we can get that
Okay.
up this week.
Yep.
Next week, we gotta,
Okay,
but we wanna make sure we got that all started. And then, we got a thing where we're gonna talk about the meters,
mm-hmm,
that's in the back, right?
yep,
I didn't mark it on this page. Okay, I got information on that. The mowers at Folks's, and then the no parking sign, there's 2 estimates in the packet. Okay, that's it.
okay.
I have a
Um,
question.
Yes.
So do you keep track of what water main breaks we have over the winter?
Yes.
Okay, well, afterwards I'll get with you. I'd like to.
You mean like whose house or what we had?
Residential or main line?
Yeah, I was gonna
Main.
say,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we can do
Okay,
anything.
afterwards I'll get with you on that.
if we do any main work, yeah.
I just I didn't know if we kept track of each one, so. Okay.
We track everything now. We have a
I
nice
figure
little,
you- I
we have a
figure
nice
you
little
did.
spreadsheet for everything, because I love spreadsheets.
Okay.
Hey, they're also cleaning up the back of Body Park. I talked to Tony today.
Okay.
In the back part of behind that diamond.
Mm-hmm,
He's been back there cleaning that up. We might want to consider buying a couple picnic tables in the future and setting back there. That'd be a really nice area
Yeah.
where people are playing ball.
Well, we still gotta get all that dirt.
Yeah, he's working
Figured
on
out.
it. That's why I said we can talk about it later
Yeah.
on, but that's gonna end up being a nice area.
Yeah, well, and we do, I mean, probably later this year, I want to talk about picnic tables and things like that, because it'd be nice in both of our parks to have some additional sitting areas.
Right.
Also at the pool, and this time, like, not buy flimsy, cheap stuff, like buy the big commercial, it's gonna take a big boy to tear it up type thing. Because what we have bought in the past, I mean, it works, but it may last a year or two, because, again, it's not built for heavy abuse, I guess is how to say it. Do we have the,
And I don't know for sure we could do this, but if we were willing to do the wood, I may be able to, there's high schoolers at Lancaster High School that'll build different things.
when we used to do that with Fairfield Union, they would build picnic tables for us as their projects,
Yeah.
and those are nice, but they get destroyed, because they're wood, so they get marked up, carved up, everything else.
Oh, you're not doing wood, you're doing.
Yeah,
okay.
because-
I was just gonna say, cause we could utilize that for the, like, labor to make it cheaper.
Yeah, no, but those are good ideas for, like, when we talk about festival picnic tables, things that aren't out in the open.
Yeah.
Because like the wood tables we have out now that were donated, if you go up to any of those picnic tables, there's your mama is a blah, 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 and
Right.
so-and-so did this to so-and-so. And we get a lot of complaints on that. And again, no one wants to see that.
Right.
So we're trying to get to like vandal-proof type stuff.
Okay.
Casey, I wanted to ask you too, I was walking over past the school the other day, how on earth did they, whatever they did to it, that one bench that is completely down and that?
We don't know, we went over there with the backhoe and tried to hook onto it with the backhoe and lift it, tried to see if we could pull it back up.
It looked like it was a really big
Yeah.
thing, and I thought, I didn't know we
I
had
don't-
that big, you could jump on it or something.
Yeah, I don't know how they
Yeah.
did it exactly, what we wind up having to do is dig it up around it, pull the whole thing out, probably cut the concrete off of it.
And that's what I'm talking about. We need big boy proof stuff, because no matter what we do, it gets tore up. And it's always gonna do that. It always has, every village has this problem, every city, but if we're gonna make the investment, I at least want it to last 5 years versus maybe a season, type thing. So I think the only thing, Casey, on yours, and I'll go ahead and bring it up, because we are having problems with people parking on sidewalks, which isn't anything new, which breaks down our sidewalks. When we look at federal grants, that disqualifies us for grants. So we are going to start installing no parking on sidewalk in the areas that are the worst. Casey got us a quote for 10 signs at $21.10 each plus freight, which brings it to $243.40. So we're going to start with the 10, get it in those areas. Go ahead, you had something?
Well, just to be fair, I did do the other, there is on the back side of the page that I gave you.
Okay,
The
yeah,
other quote from the other company,
yeah,
which is considerably more.
yeah, it's double, $48.60
Yeah.
for the other one. With council's approval, I would like to go ahead and move with this.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Michelle made the motion,
Second,
second by was Barry. Roll call?
President West, Councilwoman Dumont,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Pingorn,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
yes.
And then I also did talk to the police chief, and one of our things for this year is to take care of parking on sidewalks, wrong way, like all those little maintenance stuff. Now that we've kind of got some of our bigger stuff curbed, we can focus now on more of the maintenance stuff and get that moving forward. And we'll talk more about the police and all that a little bit later. So, anything else?
No, okay.
Okay.
Do you need a PO for this?
Sounds like a great idea.
For
Here's
the
one.
sign,
Sounds like a great idea.
No.
we
If
haven't-
we get grants, we can get,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think they'll send us a bill or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
all
think
right,
those are the guys we've already got.
Yeah, Econo
makes the
signs.
village look
Okay.
nice.
Yep.
okay.
All right. So next, we'll go ahead and move to old business. I only have one item on there, and that's at Railroad Crossing at North Main Street. As we've discussed multiple times over the past few years, that railroad track needs to be fixed, upgraded, whatever. Every year I follow up with the rail company, Watco, that uses that rail. Finally, I got some good news this spring. It sounds like it is going to be, I don't want to use the word replace, but fixed to where they're going to fix those busted timbers, redo the pavement on either side, and extend the pavement 20 feet to the other for pedestrian traffic. Now, in saying that, it's not, hey, we're going to do this, and we just go and do this. because it is state regulated, and the state, by my understanding, pays for part of it. There's hoops to jump through from their side. We just have to wait patiently. They're anticipating maybe this fall is when they'll see the money. They're doing the engineering now, or they're getting the funding for the engineering now, then we'll do the engineering, and then they'll bid it out, things like that. So they're saying, you know, this fall is what they're anticipating and having that fixed. So I know that's been a problem for a while, but that is good news. That's something we've been fighting for a long time, but finally got some headway on it.
It would help if they quit, if trucks and cars, but mostly trucks, would quit flying over it. I mean, the whole thing bounces.
Yeah,
you know.
well, everything under there's rotted. I mean, that's
Yeah, yeah.
it. So, all right, any other old business before we move to new? All right, new business. We'll start with ordinance 392301, and that's a recycling site at the community centers. Fairfield County Recycling had reached out needing another recycling site on this part of the county. We do have a recycling program within the village for all of our residents, but they asked if we can have this added. They would maintain the site, meaning they would pick up the recyclable bins as needed. Right now, we don't know if that's once a week, twice a week, depends on how well they're used. And then we get paid $500 a year to help maintenance it for different things, for like fencing, lighting, video cameras, things like that. So I told them I would bring that to council for approval. Is there any discussion on that?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay. And so we will go ahead and make a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Bill made the motion. Michelle second. Roll call.
President West, Councilwoman Dumont,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
I should have given to you in order.
I think I got them out of order, so I'm just going to use mine. Is that fine?
That's fine.
Okay,
Okay. Or I can give you mine. I have them in order to make sure we have them all.
that's fine. I mean, because they're all the same copy, right?
Yes.
We'll just pass that around. All right. Resolution 392301, urging the governor of the state of Ohio and members of the Ohio General Assembly to restore the local government fund to pre-recession levels. So this right here is part of, I know it's not called LGRAF anymore, but it's local government funds. You know, 15 years ago, Pleasantville received about $70,000 a year in LGRAF funds. Now we're lucky to get $5,000. That's how Governor Kasich balanced his budget, is by taking away local government funds. So there is momentum at the State House to restore those. And so I would like to send a resolution urging our congressmen to restore those at the pre-recession levels.
I make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right. Barry made the motion. Michelle second. Roll call.
President West, Councilwoman Dumont.
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
All right, this just takes my signature on that one. All right, next item is the resignation of Councilman Jim Muncy. Due to increasing demands on my time at work and my personal life, making it difficult to discharge my duties as a council person, I've decided to resign my position on council effective midnight 2/25/23. So this is just a formal action to accept his resignation. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Michelle made the motion.
I'll second.
Bob second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We will advertise for 30 days to replace him and have something back next meeting addressed to the council president after 30 days. If council does not properly appoint, then the mayor will appoint a replacement. Oh, yep, thank you, sir.
I already posted the job.
Okay, no, that's fine. All right, summer hires, it's that time of the year. We did budget for,
You skipped.
Dewey Decibel.
Resolution on-
Yeah, no, I did, because I got ahead of myself on check marks. Thank you. Resolution 392302 is Dewey Decimal Systems for the festival. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to enter into a contract with Dewey Decibel at the Pleasantville Music and Street Festival for stage rental and the declaration of an emergency. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Make the motion.
Bill made the motion, second.
I say,
Barry, roll call.
President West, Councilwoman Denault,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
All right, summer hire. Thanks, Sam, again. We did budget for up to $12 an hour for up to 30 hours per week for up to 26 weeks. Again, I would just bring it back to get council's final blessing. However, I do want to add something to this. I think I would like to add 2 employees this year, just because we do have the mowing, and we have a lot of property maintenance that we need to get to, plus curb painting, fire hydrant painting, like we have a lot of stuff to do. So if council's okay with hiring 2 part-time seasonal, we will proceed with that. Just discussion, I don't need a motion on it, just, is anyone objected to that? If not, I'll move forward with it, okay? All right, next is regards to speeding. So, you know, it's not hidden that we have speeding problems in this village, right? And trying to find ways to deter it. You know, we're increasing patrols, talking with Fairfield County Sheriffs and Baltimore to increase their drive-throughs, which both of them have. Hopefully people have seen Baltimore come through, because I think now it's at least twice per shift. They have to run through the village, and then plus we have the other times. But again, you know, it doesn't give us a full-time presence. So one of the products out there, I think maybe you guys have seen these in Lancaster, are speed limit signs. So as you drive up to them, it captures your speed. If you're over the speed limit, it blinks, gives you a flashing, and it kind of gives you that, you know, hey, you're going over the speed limit.
Slow down.
Yeah, I mean, it can tell you to slow down depending on which one you buy. They seem to be effective. Lancaster is using them on a lot of their side streets, and it's slowing down. Myself, Kanawha Drive, I know it's 25. I probably go 35 through there. Like if I ever get pulled over, it won't be a surprise. But guess what? When I see this, it's like, oh crap! Like it is 25, and I slow down because again, you know, we all get in our minds. But I think buying 2 of these will help us mitigate some of the problems. Again, not get rid of it, but I do need council's approval to move forward with purchasing 2 of these.
How much do they?
They range from 3,000 up to 4,400. When I was talking to this,
Damage proof are
so nothing is damage proof. So
Well,
yeah. So our goal on
I just
this,
know you put a stop sign up and within a few days it
Yeah.
was.
If they've survived Pearl Street, you know.
well,
I'm just
so what
asking.
Lancaster does with this is they've developed, you know, built in their own frame shop something that they can hang on a telephone pole up high enough to where you can't touch it.
Okay.
And then the laser points down to
Are
the
we
car
gonna do
approaching.
that?
And that's what we would like to do with it.
Yes.
So that way it's not out by itself.
Great.
Again, anyone that wants to can probably damage, steal, whatever.
Right.
But we'll do our best to make sure that they're gonna have to work for it.
Place them on Main Street.
So I think we can place them on Main Street. I just need to check with ODOT.
I was gonna say, it's a state route.
Yeah, but
And will you be able to move them around?
yes, and that's the reason why I say if we build a bracket to where, you know, basically we just take the receiving bracket, put on a telephone pole, then attach this or some type of fabrication, and that way we can keep them in an area for
Move them around.
so many days and then move them around. When I did speak to the sales rep, she mentioned like the in-between one, the one for 3535. It's solar. It's a 15-inch digit display, speed activated, and changes the digit collars. So if you're going over, it'll change to red if that's what we program. Choice of messaging collar, and basically that's the ones Lancaster use because it just tells you to slow down too fast, and then you can program what you want it to say with the collar depending on the speed that they're going.
What's the 4400 give you just?
The 4399, it's basically a larger display, 18 inches. Comes with, so these just are numbers on the top and then your message is at the bottom. These other ones, that whole thing turns into a message display.
I've seen the Lancaster ones, they seem to work.
Yeah.
I just wondered what more you got.
Yeah, and like when she explained, it's like, yeah, I mean, we can spend that extra money, but you're really getting the same thing for what we're going to use it for. So if council is okay with purchasing 2 of those, we'll move forward with purchasing those, and then hopefully it deters some.
Can't hurt.
Yep. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Michelle made the motion. Barry second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right.
You got a lot of signs to hang up.
Hey, it's job security for him. With this big TV in here, you know, they watch Mayberry all day, so they need something to do. All right. 111 West Columbus Street. We are getting,
It's
We-
resolved. They're packing his stuff up. I don't know what happened to him, but they're moving him
okay,
out.
good. But I'm still going to,
Gary's taken everything out of
Okay,
it, so.
good. I still bring it to council's attention.
Okay.
We got the same complaint last year, and we got it this year at 111 West Columbus Street, that someone's living in the garage behind the business. And the garage is not set up for any type of living, plus it's not zoned properly for that. Last year, we tried to correct it, but again, it's proving that someone's living there. We couldn't find the proof, and we tried that again this year. So far, we hadn't had proof, but it sounds like maybe the owner is resolving it for us, hopefully, or something.
Yes, they
So-
were they cleaned it, let's see, Dad and I come, yesterday and today they were cleaning and
Okay.
taking like lots of trash bags and stuff
Okay,
out.
okay. Hopefully that's fixing the thing, but if not, just for awareness is what that was for. Just in case someone says something, it's something we have been trying to fix, but we have to prove it before we can enforce it. So, and that's been the hard part. Pool pass, this is already passed, but Pleasantville Elementary Carnival was given a family pool pass like every year to raffle off. And I think they brought in $100 and some with that.
I'm gonna say it was 185.
185.
Final bid, but don't quote me on
Yeah,
it.
I would say, I know it was
I
100
won't know
something.
Until next week.
Okay. But we do that every year. Devin Starner, he's the one that does our mowing for us, for private properties that, high weed violations, things like that. I would like to continue using him this year, if everyone's okay with it. His prices really haven't went up. We'll probably be adding some properties to his list, as a couple more have been abandoned. And we'll just kind of go from there, unless there's any objection. All right, and now we'll go to the meters. So we've talked for, a good year now about replacing meters, which when we replace the meters, we have to replace the data collection system, which is expensive, and then we also need to look at replacing our billing system. Okay, so that big picture, that's what we're discussing. For tonight, it's talking about just the meters and the meter data collection, so not the billing, that's coming later, okay, just to make sure we're clear. So, and if I say something wrong, please say, hey, shut up, Jason. To buy all the equipment that's needed just to start up, we're looking at approximately $30,000. Okay, that's for the new antennas, new, not laptop now, but iPad, whatever we use, the programming, all the bits and pieces of parts.
No, the only thing that's not on that list is the actual big antenna for collection data.
Yeah, but that's included in the approximate 30,000, because that's about 5,000 in addition to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I done my math, it was about
Oh, okay.
roughly $30,000. I would like to go ahead and purchase that using the water revenue, because that's where this should come out, and we have about $111,000 in there currently. In addition to it, all the meters in the village need to be replaced, and right now we're losing about 7 a month, roughly, over the past few months.
5 a month.
5 a month, okay. And they're going to start failing faster, because again, when they bought these 12 years ago, they only had a 10-year life expectancy on the battery, and that's what is happening. The batteries are dying. So we're going to start going through these. I don't want to buy all of them at once, but the meters themselves are $411.64 each. We have meters we have customers right now we're estimating, because we don't have a meter to replace. But this is the meter and the program that we would like to move forward with. So I told Casey we can probably start off with ordering 10 meters, and then kind of keeping 10 meters in stock as he replaces. So one, replace them if they go bad, and then also start replacing ones on a schedule until we get everyone. That way it's little by little. So if you guys are okay to go ahead and start this, we'll start the process, but we'll have to come back next month with a resolution with actual details and all that. But if you guys are okay approving that $30,000, approximate $30,000 to buy the upfront items, and then at least 10 meters at $411.64 each to get us started, and then we can start ramping up. And again, then later on where we talk about billing, because that needs to be updated too.
We're still talking about the same meters, right?
Yep, the EJP is the salesman, but it's the Flow IQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
is this the one that will automatically read them? You don't have to drive around, it'll automatically, like what Thurston has? Is that?
Kind of, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind when we say that, the antenna is what's gonna do that, that's gonna be on this building, right?
Okay,
But let's just say my house has some kind of obstruction that you can't read it. They still will have to go out and do it because because my house is brick with a metal roof. So there's a possibility my signal can't get out of my basement because of that.
okay.
But it should be onesie twosies, not whatever.
So, oh, okay.
Okay.
So you can tell it just to start reading meters and the signal will send out and read,
Mhm.
so you won't have to go out and drive around, only just to get the ones that was missed or
Right.
whatever.
And then eventually, when the, actually has the antenna system set up, you'll be able to basically, like say, hey, you need to read this meter, we can put it in, or if when we get the attachment to where this building and that building is the same building,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
When we get that attachment going, you can actually access the program and that'll automatically kick it in.
Yeah. You guys will actually read the meters. You'll just push a button to read. They won't have to go out and you'll collect the data in.
gosh, that'll save a lot of time.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But like, that's down the road, but
That's-
that's a
Oh, right.
potential of this.
But
Plus,
then after we get everything together.
Like everybody has a new meter.
yep. And then these meters have approximately a 20-year battery life,
20-year
roughly.
battery.
So, and again, this is the technology that's here today. So, you know, as we talk about water and water fees, we need to look at like 20 years down the road, this council, whoever's here needs to replace these meters. So we need to start something to start saving that money because we can't rely on grants. This is just part of owning a water operating system in the new age. And it's still cheaper than buying the old analog and paying Casey and Tony to go out and manually read them and all that, so.
Yeah, basically the price difference is only $30 right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just literally.
So you're saving labor, you know, is where your real savings is long-term. And these ones, correct me if I'm wrong, because they're sonic, if there's a water break in the area, and we have like 5 or 6 of them, they're gonna all point to an area where they think that water break is. So if you have a resident that we don't know about, that's not home, let's say we have one of our snowbirds, it might point us to where, hey, they got a water break, they're not home to know it, but it'll clue us in, or where we're trying to find water breaks on our own main line. So there's extra technology there that will help us out.
Yeah, that's one of the key reasons why we're
Mhm.
looking at these meters.
Yep.
Is because it's actually pushing us forward as a village
Yeah,
instead of
keeping us status quo.
keeping us right here as status quo.
Yep.
We're actually looking at moving forward.
Any comments? If not, do I hear a motion to move forward?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Michelle made the motion, second. Bill, second. Roll call?
President West, Councilwoman Jamal,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Okay. And again, I will have an actual resolution for you guys to sign next month. All right. So next one is Resolution 392303, the 2023 fiscal year budget adjustment. And this is an increase to appropriations on the 2041 Parks and Recs account. This is where we're adding back in that $60,000 worth of appropriations to spend for the grant money. Remember, we had to take it out, now we got to put it back in. And then again, increasing the payout for the 2041 999 990 002 for the financing of the 60,007 5850 at Oddie Park. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
All right, Michelle made the motion.
A second.
Barry second. Roll call.
President West, Councilwoman Jamal,
Yes.
Councilman Mason, Councilman Pangborn,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
All right. We're going to go ahead and skip the music and festival update, just
Good with me.
server subscription renewal. This is from ABC, so this is the server that we bought. It's in our budget, but just for awareness for everyone, the cloud backup and the labor to do that comes to $1,930.70. So I will approve this estimate for that unless there's any concerns. If not, okay. Penny, I'm gonna have all your paperwork messed up, just so you know. Special duty officers, I've already started special duty officers. I would like to increase our budget for that. So I done some recalculations, and if we do 6 hours versus 4 hours for the specified time. So about 2 days a week. It'll increase the budget line item total between the two line items, because remember, general fund and police, about $8,000. And it'll give us a lot more visibility, a little bit more time in the village. Is council okay with doing that? We'll have to increase the budget. Yeah. I didn't think it'll be a problem, but again, I just, talking to the chief, it'll just give us a little bit more time in the village in addition to what they're doing, and help us focus on some of the issues that we're having. All right.
What time categories are you talking about?
What's that?
When you say add more time, are we talking about?
So we originally said 4 hours per
Is this
day.
Increasing hours, but it's still up to them whenever they decide to come in, or?
Yes and no. So we have a set schedule. I don't want to say we have a set schedule. So the chief and I usually talk each month, and we kind of like, okay, if we can be in the town these specific days during these hours, it'll help us fix this problem or attack that problem. Typically, you'll see them in here more on the weekends, essentially, because we have more activity on the weekends.
Right.
So it's just increasing those hours while they're in town. And again, that's to help us with all those little things that we're trying to get cleaned up, plus take care of some of our bigger problems. Any other questions? All right. Ordinance 392302, it's a mosquito spraying contract with, what's that? No, because I'll bring back the budget.
Just wanna make sure.
Yeah, it'll be on the budget increase, just before we proceeded.
Right, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, nope. This is an ordinance to authorize the mayor and fiscal officer to enter into an agreement with Fairfield County Health Department for mosquito fogging and declaration of an emergency. So again, this will be renewing our contract from last year. $75 per mile of fogging is how they bill that out. And again, you know, that's miles driven, and we don't have that many miles in town, so prices should stay the same about as last year. All right, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Michelle made the motion, second.
Second.
Barry, second. Roll call.
President West, Councilwoman Dumont,
Yes.
Councilman Nixon,
Yes.
Councilman Payne,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
All right, resolution 413-2301, and an ordinance to establish pay rates for the period of April 1st, 2023 to March 31st, 2024 for village employees and the declaration of an emergency. And this will be for the annual 3% pay increase effective April 1st, 2023. So this will be retroactive. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Michelle made the motion.
Second.
Bill second. Roll call.
President West, Councilwoman Dumont,
That one.
Yes, sorry.
no, that's okay, Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Payne,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
All right. Next thing is you guys heard me mention Village of Thornville will not be opening up their pool this year. One thing, I have not talked to the Village of Thornville. I wanted to bring it to you guys first. But since they are so close, and this might be an opportunity to get people to come to Pleasantville, is if we offer their in-town village residents our in-town village rates for the pool. Is anyone opposed to that? Okay, didn't think so, but wanted to ask before I done it. So we'll go ahead and do that. Next thing is we did have a resident complaint. It's a lengthy letter, so I will not read it. And she has sent pictures. She did also reach out to Fairfield County Commissioners. She reached out to the governor's office. She's reached out to the fire department. I know I'm missing someone. Our attorney. So,
When did the governor?
yes, the governor's office. So I'm bringing it here, and it's, the resident is at 116 West Walnut Street. Again, there's multiple complaints, and it's all about one neighbor. And it's a neighbor that we are trying to work with to get some things addressed. Some of the things they've already fixed. One thing that, and this is a yearly thing, is she complains about open burning, saying that we're not enforcing the law where we are. She's also contacted the EPA, because I have talked to them. But just to bring it to the table, I can pass around the letter, keep it up here if anyone wants to see it, along with the pictures. I will be responding to the resident via mail to give her a copy of our open burning standards, the current Ohio burning standards. She's already talked to the EPA. They've already told her, like, based on what we've received so far, they've received, there's no action for someone to take. Now, the EPA did say in our resolution, or in our ordinance, he suggested a couple things to maybe add to it, because in our ordinance, we don't say how far away from a building you can have a fire. So essentially, they can have a fire up to their house, and our ordinance doesn't say that they can or cannot. So he did give us some information on that. So we'll be looking at our open burn ordinance and bringing that back to council. I'll probably be sending it over to you, Michelle.
Yeah, that'd be.
Since you
Was
guys,
there a second one?
I need to go back through my email and
Okay.
double check.
Okay, if you can just forward
And he
it.
also gave some examples of like what City of Columbus does versus a village to kind of give us an idea.
That'd be good.
But there is nothing, even according to the fire department, there's been nothing that they can do. Because when they are called out for that address, it's either already out or it's not in violation. So, you know, again, there really hasn't been an actionable item on the burn. On the property maintenance, it's a resident that we have every year. But just for awareness, the commissioners already did respond to her and say that there's nothing they can do. We've not heard back from our governor on anything. So that's just where it's at. But again, we plan to respond to her via mail.
So does she just want them not to burn anymore, or controlled a different way? I don't,
I'll be truthful. It can be, depending on what's being, I can see being upset because depending on what is burnt, because we've had,
Yeah.
it can smell, it can explode, it can.
And that stuff is illegal.
Yeah, but they have to come when certain things are happening,
Yeah.
which makes it really, really tough.
well, I was wondering
Yeah.
because
But
you
it
said
can
when they
be,
come, there's
and
no violation.
Yeah.
His building suggestion is a good idea, because I've also seen it extremely close to
Mhm.
building, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I could see how it could be like a regular, but if you get into other stuff,
Yeah.
it can be.
So basically, in general, again, there's all these rules and laws that depends on this, if and or, but if you're willing to eat off the fire, meaning it's not chemicals, it's not treated lumber, it's, you know, it's not a bonfire in I think it's a 3x3 or 4x4 spot, controlled with a water hose there to put out any fire it's a legal fire. You're enjoying a campfire, cooking out on it. If you're burning chemicals, building material, or it's outside that, I don't want to say it's illegal, because there's certain times that is legal, but then there's requirements for that. Again, chemicals is probably never legal, but I don't want to,
Right.
because again, there's all these
So
rules.
If you added a distance to a building, what, I mean,
So basically, if, let's just say, and again, we have 2 fire departments.
right,
So they can choose whether they enforce our ordinance or not. So I'm going to use Pleasant Township as an example, and let's just say I'm burning 5 feet from my house, and they get there and I'm saying, I'm having a campfire, you can't do nothing about it. Well, this ordinance says you have to be 15 feet. So then they can extinguish it, or if it becomes a problem over and over, they can fine. The fire department can fine if they have the authority to fine. I think Pleasant Township does have the authority and Walnut Township doesn't. If memory serves me right, I could be 100% wrong on that too. Because they have to have certain requirements to issue a fine. But again, the police department can issue the fine too if they can't. But,
Yeah, our litter, from the sheriff's department.
Yeah, the litter
guy
control
that does the litter, he can actually,
yeah.
and he can turn it into the EPA
Mhm.
if it's not appropriate.
So, and then talking to the fire chief, the assumption is when the fire isn't extinguished and they can't do nothing about it, they know the rule that like, hey, we're not doing nothing wrong. But when the fire has been extinguished by the time they get there, most likely he's assuming they were burning something they shouldn't have been, type thing. And again, I understand the complaints and they're valid. I'm not saying they're not valid, but, you know,
it's just getting a way to take care of it.
yeah, exactly. As mayor, I can't just go down and say, I saw you do it and I'm fining you now, because that's not how the law works. Yeah, I wish I
know
could.
who you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
But we can definitely, maybe we need to look at that before you answer her.
Well, that's one, yeah. Like, I'm not in a hurry to answer that yet, because I still have some
Because
other,
if we're gonna make changes, we
Yeah.
could include that.
yes, some of the changes that we're introducing and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not in a hurry, because she didn't give us a timeline
Okay.
on, like, she wanted a response by, so I want to make sure we're addressing everything. The property maintenance stuff, you know, we need to go through and, because some of the stuff is valid, some of it is one of those things, like they're right on the borderline, you know, type thing, so, situation similar to yours. I mean, that's the truth of it, so, all right. Sorry, any other questions on that? If not, I'll move forward. All right, Resolution 413-2302. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to enter into a contract with the Wolf, Ohio at the Pleasantville Music and Street Festival for radio ad space and the declaration of an emergency. Again, we bring everything back from the festival here because eventually, you know, essentially you guys are responsible for that budget, so that's why we have to bring all this stuff back. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
All right, Bill made the motion,
I'll second
second by Bob, roll call.
President West, Councilwoman Dumont. Yes. Councilman Mason.
Yes.
Councilman Pinglor.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Michelle. All right, Resolution 413-23-3, the ARP Fiscal Recovery Fund Subgrant Agreement. This is our agreement with Fairfield County Commissioners for the money to do the renovations on both water towers. A resolution to approve and authorize the use of American Rescue Plan fiscal recovery funding and appropriate from unappropriated funds for the county ARP Fiscal Recovery Fund, number 2876, the Village of Pleasantville Water Project with Fairfield County. So this is the contract. We will be going into the county for them to pay for the updates to the water towers. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make,
Bob made the motion.
I'll second.
Barry second. Roll call.
President West, Councilwoman Dumont.
Yes.
Councilman Mason.
Yes.
Councilman Pinglor.
yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't think of that.
Oh, I don't mind talking about it first, I figured it out.
All right. Ordinance 413-2301, this is the ODOT snow and ice removal. I know we're in spring, but this is for next year's projects. This is approval and granting consent to the Director of the Ohio Department of Transportation Authority to apply, maintain, and repair standard longitudinal pavement markings and erect regulatory and warning signs on state highways inside village corporation limits, and giving consent to the village for the Ohio Department of Transportation to remove snow and ice and use snow and ice control material on state highways inside the village corporation limits, and giving consent of the village for the Ohio Department of Transportation to perform maintenance and/or repair on state highways inside the village corporation. So let me restate what I said. So it's for the snow removal, for signage, for just basically the entire right-of-way for State Route 188. And this is the 5-year one, right? Or-
Yes.
Okay, so this is a 5-year contract.
Yeah, it's until June of 2025. Oh, no, it's 2, like,
2, okay, sorry. That's what I was looking for, just to be sure.
well, I was like,
All right. So do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
All right. Bill made the motion.
I'll second it.
Michelle second. Roll call.
President West, Councilwoman Dumont.
Yes.
Councilman Mason.
Yes.
Councilman Pinglor.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
All right. Resolution 413-2304 for Fultz Ag, and this is to purchase the new zero turn. Every 2 years we trade ours in for a new one per the state agreements. And this time, instead of going through the John Deere dealership and getting a John Deere, we are opting to go with the Bobcat zero turn, just because the price is competitive. We feel it's a better machine
And it's a better one.
and a better warranty, and
And they're right here if we need them fixed.
yes, yep,
Because we're doing the Bobcat dealership is, one of the mowers is Fultz.
Fultz, yep, and Lancaster and Bremen.
Yes.
All right, so it's a resolution authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to enter into a contract with Fultz Ag, Lancaster, Ohio, for the purchase of a new Bobcat zero-turn mower and the declaration of an emergency. The total price payout for us is $5,250.
No, you got the old, look on the ones I just gave you.
Oh, sorry.
It's
That was the
4,500.
new one he just sent in today.
That's super cheap.
Because-
What kind of motor was that?
We have a trade-in.
Yeah, that's what the
Okay.
trade. That's what
Like, I
I
bought one there, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Push motor.
Yeah. So the MSRP on this is $12,789. Their sale price is $10,000. They're giving us $5,500 for our trade-in. So our balance due will be $4,500.
Yeah, because if you look at the things, the municipality prices went down.
Oh, okay,
It was a
yeah.
Better deal.
Okay, good.
It changed.
Yeah, $750.
Yeah, March and April, we just found out is the actual change date.
Oh, so we actually, by not having a meeting last month, we saved $750. All right, that sounds,
Jason's like, yay
hey,
me.
that is great. Well, not yay me, yay all of us.
No, I just mean because you weren't able to make it.
Yeah, yeah. All right. We're gonna do a motion on this one, sorry. No, motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Michelle, second. Barry, roll call.
President West, Councilwoman Jamal,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Haymore,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
All right, we have a resignation of Jack Widener from Walnut Creek Sewer District to Mayor Henderson. As of April 7th, 2023, I will be resigning my position as a board member of Walnut Creek Sewer District. So this will be an appointment from the mayor. I will advertise for 30 days and bring an appointment to you guys next month. And we will advertise for that or have already started.
Oh, I thought it was mine. It's not in my ringer.
I was gonna say something like my ring. Better control.
All right, that's all we have under new business. An hour and 18 minutes, that's not bad so far. Anyone else have any new business? If not, we'll move to council member comments or concerns. Barry? Michelle?
Nope.
Bill?
No.
Bob?
Nope.
Penny, you have anything else for us?
We went down to Bremen and, for a couple, Sam and I went down and checked out their billing system they have. And boy, are we ever living in archive years in this village.
Yeah.
Their system, she said, I think roughly $7,000
Mhm.
for the whole system. And they can do online payments. They can
Actual
do
online, meaning you see your statement, everything.
Yeah.
And,
You can
Automatic.
set
Yeah.
up automatic payments.
Yes.
and you as consumer can see your own account information.
You
Yeah.
can pull up
Without
your own
calling.
account.
I need that.
Yes. So that's the
And it's
reason why
like-
we were talking
yeah, we're
about.
like in the Stone
I
Ages.
seriously-
We were
Is
down
that
there.
gonna, is that gonna work with?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that was the first thing
Yep.
yeah, that's why we're doing that first and then
That
this.
sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
So the
I
si-
told Sam if I had to go finance this myself, that we're going to have this.
So the sales rep comes next week to
Yes.
demo it.
Yes.
Bremen already uses it, so like we have a tech support type thing per se. And we work very well with Bremen. The clerks
Yes.
work very well, very close together.
There's just a lot of
How soon
neat
can
things
they
that can.
implement?
Well, so we'll get some quotes, bring back, because again, we're gonna be replacing all of our meters, so we're gonna build the new one to read the current meters. Our old billing system will read the old ones, and we'll just kind of start phasing stuff out. It is the game plan. So for a while, you'll have customers on, not on two different ones, but yeah. So it won't be until you put on the new.
Well, this one, they said we'd only have to pay $1,500 as a startup. And then the other, like what's left, we can make like monthly payments
Yeah.
on. So that we wouldn't have a big chunk to pay.
Yeah.
Because the meters are right now are more important than,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, ours is a pain in the butt right now, but like that's
Right.
more important,
Needs it.
so.
Well, we literally, had to buy some of the old meters
Mhm.
to fill in the gaps because we
Yeah.
haven't started yet. And we have literally already we're down to one.
Yeah, they're dying quickly.
Yeah.
So those 10,
The meters themselves are dying out
Mhm.
quick.
How many are you having die a month?
On average, 5 in in the last 3 months, we've replaced 14.
Wow.
so we'll order 10, and most likely it'll be first come, first serve. But then if we do have some, it'll be like let's get some people on the new ones.
Yeah, so like literally right before we know the next case is coming in,
Mhm.
we'll go out and install, in an area and just work our way around.
Yep.
that.
One thing I didn't think of, but you guys may have, is because the school, the gas station, and those are larger sizes.
Yes, those are actually, if you look at the paper,
Mm-hmm.
the first 3 meters,
Mm-hmm.
not the first one.
Oh, okay, you already have those on
The
there.
next 2 down,
Mm-hmm.
those are already on the list.
Okay,
But we don't have those added in because we don't want to bring those on until we're ready, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
yeah, because like the
Because those are
school,
big meters, we'll have to wait till the school's shut down.
yeah,
For a day to go in, get everything measured out, get it all
Yep.
ready to go. Well, actually, we'll have to go in before they shut down, measure everything, get everything reordered, because there is gonna be extra pieces and parts we'll have to order for those, just because of the size difference from old meters to new meters, you know what I mean?
Right,
all right.
And that's really what we're looking at, is how we're gonna,
right.
because technically this gets rid of also the other meter. So in a lot
This-
of these places, we have a 2-inch meter and a 3/4 inch meter, high flow and low flow. This will in turn take away all that, and you'll just have one meter that'll do high and low, it doesn't matter.
Cool.
All right. Pleasant Township Fire Department did send a thank you to the Village of Pleasantville. We would like to thank you for the use of the shelter house last month. We got some very useful training out of it. It was great to get some search and rescue training in a building we do not normally use. So they done the smoke training at the old shelter house. So as again, like we've discussed, anyone that needs to use any of our buildings, when we're not using them, other government entities, we go ahead and open that up to them. All right. You didn't have anything else, Penny?
Nope.
That's surprising.
I'm shocked.
I know.
I love you, but I'm
Yeah,
shocked.
Penny's usually the one that I forget about, and she's like, "Oh crap, I got all this." All right,
No, mine was all these ordinances.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right. Sam, you got anything? All right, then do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, Michelle made the motion. Bill second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Have a good night. Enjoy the weather, and try out the restaurant.
23.
Okay, Michelle, I need Michelle and Jason, I need you to sign a few things.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. He's got to shut us down.
Okay. Let's see. I have your pile over here.
Did I miss some or something?
Well, no, these are just the, because you did the meeting.